I'm Bonnie Helmer. I'm shipping my entire inventory of fossils. They're all going to the...
They showed up on our screens chasing abandoned storage units, but what they really brought with them were personalities, loud arguments, unexpected friendships, life-changing discoveries hidden behind rusted metal doors. For years, Storage Wars wasn't just a reality show, it was a weekly ritual for millions of viewers. We watched bidders take risks, lose fortunes, strike gold, and sometimes embarrass themselves in front of the world. But while the cameras captured excitement, competition, and drama, they didn't capture everything. Behind the scenes, several familiar faces were fighting battles no one saw. Battles with health, battles with pressure, battles with life itself. Some of these people left the show quietly, some vanished without explanation, and some never got the chance to say goodbye. Today, we're remembering 10 beloved Storage Wars members.
Crazy cat.
You hit my cat, you hurt my cat. You're not safe anywhere in the world.
What are you doing? Don't be doing that.
Who tragically passed away, not just as TV personalities, but as real people with real stories. This isn't about gossip. This isn't about rumors. This is about legacy. As we count down, you'll hear stories of passion, struggle, success, and loss. Some names you'll recognize instantly, others may surprise you, and by the end of this video, you may never look at Storage Wars the same way again.
Often build a big support so we would make sure it wouldn't bounce around and bend nothing. I think we're about even.
I'm thinking we're maybe $1,000.
Number 10. Roy Garber. Roy was clear from the start that his goal on Storage Wars was to win, not to make friends. Roy immediately made an impression with his razor-sharp tongue, unreserved confidence, and in-depth understanding of antiques. Roy had worked in the antique and collectibles industry for decades before becoming well-known on reality TV. This was his life's job. He wasn't a hobbyist looking to make quick cash. He had a keen sense of history and trusted his gut more than any evaluation. Roy rapidly formed rivalries on the show, particularly with pushy buyers. When he thought auctions were unfair, he didn't back down, he didn't sugarcoat his views, and he didn't disguise his annoyance. His candor won him admirers. However, viewers were unaware of how much quieter and more fragile Roy's life was off-camera. Roy started having major health problems as the show went on. Eventually, he stopped participating in Storage Wars, leaving followers to wonder what had happened. Roy Garber died in March 2014 at the age of 69 following a heart attack. Fans were deeply affected by the news. A dramatic goodbye episode did not take place. No final auction. There was just stillness, followed by news that one of the most iconic characters on the show had passed away. Roy's death served as a reminder that beneath the arguments and rivalry lay a guy who dedicated his life to using lost artifacts to preserve history. He was saving tales, not simply bidding on lockers. Number 9. Mark Balelo. Mark Balelo made a lasting impression. As an auctioneer on Storage Wars, Mark brought chaos, intensity, and lightning-fast energy to every transaction he made. His passionate voice, intense eye contact, and fast-paced chant turned boring auctions into thrilling events. The audience recognized him immediately, but behind that tough guy on film, there was a man who was under a lot of stress. Mark was very interested in storage auctions long before he got famous on TV. The sudden rise to national fame opened up new doors, but it also caused personal problems, stress, and criticism. At the start of 2013, Mark was under more and more financial and legal stress. Later reports said that he had been having emotional and mental problems during this time. Mark Balelo died tragically on April 11, 2013, when he was 40 years old. They found out that he murdered himself. People in the Storage Wars community were shocked. Fans had seen his energy, confidence, and calmness, but no one had seen the pain that was below it. People in the audience and on stage were both shocked and sorrowful. Many people talked about the huge stress that comes with reality TV, especially when celebrity help is slow to arrive. Mark's death was one of the worst things that ever happened on the show. He was in charge of more than just auctions. He was a reminder that even the strongest voices can hide silent pain. Number 8. Nabila Hanis. From the start, Nabila Hanis was distinctive. Nabila stood out in a show full of loud people and bidding wars because she didn't require loudness to get recognition. She introduced a level of class to Storage Wars that fans had never seen before. She was calm, composed, and well-dressed. Nabila was already doing well before reality TV. She had worked with high-end resale, antiques, and luxury products before. especially fashion and collectibles. Nabila played the long game, unlike many other bidders who wanted fast rewards. She knew what was worth it, and trusted that it would come. Fans instantly recognized her smart way of playing when she was on Storage Wars. She didn't often bid too much. She watched, she sat down, and waited. And she moved on purpose. She didn't remember the loud fights, she remembered the quiet successes. Walking away with lockers that other people didn't think were worth much. Finding things that other people missed. Leaving auctions with her head held high, while her opponents fought behind her. Then, all of a sudden she was gone. No news. There is no farewell episode. No reason. For years, viewers wondered why Nabila left the show. Some people thought she just wanted to be alone. Some people thought there might be health problems. In the end, it was discovered that Nabila Hanis had died after having major health problems. The family kept things to themselves, which was in line with how she lived her life. Longtime fans were quite sad about her demise, especially those who appreciated her professionalism and grace. Class, not drama, is what Nabila's legacy is all about. She showed that you don't need chaos to do well, and the auctions she used to run were noticeably less peaceful without her. Number 7. Mike Brosh. Mike Brosh represented something rare on Storage Wars, the everyday bidder. He wasn't flashy, he wasn't loud, he wasn't trying to build a television persona. Mike was there because he genuinely loved the thrill of discovery. Before appearing on the show, Mike had spent years attending auctions, flea markets, and estate sales. He wasn't chasing fame, he was chasing opportunity. Like many storage buyers, he believed one locker could change everything. When Mike appeared on Storage Wars, viewers connected with him instantly. He felt real, relatable, a reminder that behind the reality TV format were people just trying to make a living. Mike showed excitement when lockers opened, disappointment when they didn't pay off, and satisfaction when effort met reward. Sadly, Mike's life took a difficult turn off camera. He began facing serious health issues that eventually forced him to step away from the auction scene. As his condition worsened, he disappeared from public view entirely. Mike Brosh later passed away after battling these health challenges. His death didn't make headlines. There were no viral tributes. But among those who remembered him, the loss was deeply personal. Mike symbolized the heart of Storage Wars. Not greed, not fame, but hope. Hope that hidden behind forgotten doors, something better might be waiting.
So that means I'm gonna get some hot units. I'm like ice, baby. I don't ever melt. I just stay ice all day long.
Number 5. Morris Prigoff. At heart, Morris Prigoff was a collector. Morris had been interested in antiques, history, and preservation long before reality TV made storage auctions seem cool. He didn't want to flip things quickly. He wanted to know their stories. Morris knew a lot about collectibles, like an encyclopedia, artworks, old furniture, artifacts that are hard to find. Morris regarded things that other people thought were rubbish as cultural time capsules. His appearance on Storage Wars made it more interesting. People paid attention when Morris spoke. He made the process of valuing more believable by bringing real-world knowledge to the show. Morris had a long, happy life outside of the cameras, surrounded by the things he loved. He taught collectors, openly shared what he knew, and thought that history should be respected. Morris Prigoff lived a long life and died quietly. His death wasn't terrible in the sense that it happened all of a sudden, but it did mean the loss of wisdom, experience, and a generation of collectors who cared more about preserving things than making money. Number 4. Gunter Nezhoda. Gunter Nezhoda was one of the most popular people on Storage Wars. Gunter brought delight wherever he went with his loud laugh, endless energy, and obvious presence. He wasn't just bidding, he was putting on a show. Gunter was a fan favorite because of his comedy, positivism, and larger-than-life demeanor. He often appeared with his son, René Nezhoda. Gunter made the moment special, even when the lockers were empty. Gunter had major health problems, nevertheless, despite the laughs. In his later years, he fought lung cancer, which astonished people who were used to seeing him full of vitality all the time. Gunter's condition got worse even though he was getting therapy. Gunter Nezhoda died in March 2022 at the age of 67. Fans from all across the world sent in tributes. There was footage, quotations, and recollections on social media, but they were all about laughing, not bidding wars. Gunter's death was one of the saddest losses in the history of Storage Wars. He wasn't just a cast member, he was the show's heart. Number 3. The silent disappearances fans still ask about. Not every goodbye on Storage Wars came with an explanation. Some familiar faces didn't fade out slowly. They didn't announce retirement. They didn't get a farewell episode. They were simply gone. For longtime viewers, These silent disappearances created questions that were never answered on screen. One season they were there, bidding, arguing, celebrating wins. The next season, their spot at the auction was empty. At first, most fans assumed it was normal television turnover. Contracts end, producers change direction, ratings shift. That's how TV works. But as the years passed, the silence felt heavier. Why did certain regulars vanish overnight? Why were no explanations given? And why did some of them never resurface anywhere else? The truth is, Storage Wars showed only a fraction of reality. What happened off-camera often mattered far more than what aired. Some bidders walked away because the pressure became too much. Storage auctions are physically demanding, emotionally exhausting, and financially risky. Add cameras, public judgment, and online criticism, and the weight multiplies quickly. And then there were those who chose privacy over exposure. Not everyone wanted to become a permanent television personality. For some, Storage Wars was never the goal. It was just a chapter. Once the spotlight grew brighter, stepping back felt safer than stepping forward. What makes these disappearances so haunting is the lack of closure. Viewers form connections. They notice patterns. They remember faces. When those faces vanish without explanation, curiosity turns into concern. Even today, fan forums and comment sections are filled with the same question. What happened to them? Are they okay? Why did they leave so suddenly? These silent exits remind us that reality television doesn't document entire lives, only moments. And sometimes, the most important moments happen after the cameras stop rolling. Number 2, when fame faded and life took over. For many people on Storage War, fame was never part of the plan. They didn't audition to become celebrity. They didn't expect recognition in grocery stores. And they certainly didn't anticipate millions of strangers forming opinions about their personality. They came for the auction. But fame arrived anyway. As Storage Wars exploded in popularity, everyday bidders suddenly became public figures. Their reactions were analyzed. Their decisions were criticized. Their lives were dissected. At first, the attention felt exciting. Opportunities appeared. Business increased. Recognition grew. But fame has a cost. For some cast members, the pressure of constant visibility began to outweigh the benefit. Every mistake was magnified. Every loss was mocked. Every emotional reaction lived forever online. Storage auctions stopped feeling like work and started feeling like performance. And that's when life stepped in. Family responsibilities grew. Health issues emerged. Priorities shifted. What once felt thrilling began to feel intrusive. Some realized they were missing moments that mattered more than screen time. Birthdays, recovery, quiet days without camera. So they made a choice. Not a dramatic one. Not a televised one. Just a personal one. They stepped away. No controversy. No scandals. Just a decision to return to real life. From the outside, it looked like they vanished. But in reality, they reclaimed something fame had taken. Normalcy. This chapter of Storage Wars reminds us that success doesn't look the same for everyone. For some, walking away was not failure. It was survival. They chose peace over popularity. Privacy over exposure. Life over television. And while viewers may miss them, those decisions deserve respect. Number 1. The legacy Storage Wars will never escape. Storage Wars was built on competition, but its legacy is far more complicated. At its peak, the show captured something raw, the gamble of the unknown. Every locked door represented risk. Every bid represented hope. And every win or loss felt personal. But over time, the show also revealed something deep, the human cost of constant pressure. Behind the entertainment were real people making real decisions with real consequences. Money was lost. Reputations were formed. Stress accumulated quietly. The legacy Storage Wars can never escape isn't just about iconic moments or memorable personality. It's about what happens when ordinary people are placed under extraordinary scrutiny. Some thrive. Some struggle. Networks began paying closer attention to mental health. Viewers became more aware of the pressure behind fame. And conversations shifted from entertainment alone to responsibility. Today, when fans rewatch old episodes, the experience feels different. Moments that once felt funny now feel fragile. Arguments feel heavy. Silences feel louder. Because once you understand the cost, you can't unsee it. Storage Wars will always be remembered for excitement, humor, and unforgettable auctions. But its true legacy lies in the reminder it left behind. Reality TV isn't just reality. It's real people, and their stories don't end when the episode does. Storage Wars gave us entertainment, but it also gave us people. People with dreams, people with struggles, People who left behind more than storage units. If this video reminded you of someone you loved watching, take a moment to remember them. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, like, subscribe, and comment below. Which Storage Wars member do you miss the most? Thank you for watching.